The San Francisco 49ers have missed Talanoa Hufanga. The leadership, the athleticism, and guys, I have crazy news. All-Pro Talanoa Hufanga is about to get even better. In today's show, I'm going to tell you how that's happening based on what he himself has done leading up to this game against the Rams. Now, what feels like a year ago from when he got injured. If you're new here, I'm Nate, and I love talking the 49ers. I would consider it an honor if you would hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. The headline is this. Talanoa Hufanga is obviously back. We know that. He's back this Sunday, barring anything, knock on wood, that gets a little bit weird. So that's good news. And the 49ers have seen a lot of weird stuff in the last couple of weeks, so I'm not going to put it as an impossibility there. But in a recent interview, he said how he's going to get better this season, how he's going to be better this season after coming off of a major injury. You have got to hear what he says. But first, comment below. A lot of injuries, Faithful. Is this going to be an ugly game? I feel like the more that I'm seeing it, it feels like it's going to be an ugly game. And I feel like there are two sides of the 49ers fan base right now. You've got one side who is Brock Purdy, Brandon Aiyuk. They're going to just roll. Jordan Mason, they're going to roll. And it's going to be awesome. And then you've got another side that's like, I think we're going to win, but I think it's going to be a nasty game. And I'm kind of somewhere in between. I think in the fourth quarter, let's say the last half of the fourth quarter, you've got 7.5 minutes where the 49ers are in control and the game's pretty much done and dusted, even if the Rams think it's not. That's where I'm at right now. The game's killed off with about 7.5 left in the game. That's my personal opinion. Let me know in the comments what you think. However, I can convince myself a little bit this way and then a little bit that way at times, depending on the injuries, which of course is now George Kittle's doubtful. He's probably not going to play. You've got Charvarius Ward, who's probably 50-50. You have Nick Bosa, who's probably 50-50. This is crazy, guys. Like this is a lot. And I'm so glad we're getting Hufanga back, and I can't wait to tell you what he had to say about how he's getting better, how he got better over these last, whatever it is, 10 months or something like that. Here you go. Let me give you a first part, and then I'll play an audio clip too. So while working his way back from a season-ending ACL injury, Hufanga had unlimited time to pore over his own game film with a fine-tooth comb. Now the defensive back sees his play very differently. Here's how he put it.
Some of the silver linings, maybe, that
Jennifer Lee Chan with the great question.
Go back through your film with a fine-tooth comb.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's actually funny because I look back to my second year, Pro Bowl, All-Pro, but to me it was like it was really mediocre in a sense, and I really like to look at it that way, and I got to criticize myself to that standard, and so for myself I got to be better for this team. I got to be more communicative to everyone, and if I can make a play for Tig, if I can make a play for Demo, guys that are sitting in my locker, like I'll do it, and so I need to put them in the best position to do that, and so that relies on me for sure.
When you say mediocre that year, you mean just like on a consistency basis from play to play, like what?
Well, it's just like even the plays that I have made, it's like how can I be better on those? Like why did it take me 3 times to see the same play? Like, and it happens in the league, across the league. I'm not saying I'm the only person, but I like to hold myself to that standard. If I've seen the play twice already, why did it take me the 3rd time to make it? And so. You really see it when you go back and look, and it's a copycat league. That things that we got beat on in the first 2 games, we're going to see it against the Rams, and things like that. And so that's part of us learning and growing and coming together as a defense to be the best we can. So,
how do you not love the guy? So, hey Hufanga, hey, how did you feel about your All-Pro season? Mediocre. That is the word that Hufanga just used to describe his All-Pro season. That's crazy, guys. That's crazy. Now, I want to get back to the article here because there's more that he said. There's more that came out of this. And Jennifer Lee Chan with the article, fantastic job covering this story. So I want to give her all the credit in the world, of course. She's phenomenal. During this offseason, Hufanga usually trains in San Diego with Hall of Fame safety Troy Polamalu. But this year, the safety chose to stay close to the team facility while going through his rehab process. When Hufanga couldn't work out physically, he focused on his mind. It's crazy because part of this process is the volume aspect of it. You can never put too much volume early on, not a lot of running aspect to it. So a lot of it was just me watching film. I pride myself on watching film already, but on top of that, I watched hours and hours of film and really just correcting my mistakes. From the outside, someone might think that the USC product is being too hard on himself, Jennifer Lee Chan writes, but for Hufanga, it was the silver lining of his injury, the eye-opening journey. is one that will help the safety be a better player during his return, expected to come this weekend. Wow. So Talanoa Hufanga, and I got one more quote for you from William Frost from Athlon Sports in a minute here, but my goodness. Your all-pro season was mediocre. That's how good these players are. The greatest players are like this. This is Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan type of mentality. I am the best and I want to be better. Or I'm not the best until I'm just hands down the best, like Fred Warner, and I'm still not going to believe I'm the best because I still have things to improve on. And even when you finally, like, there's just no argument, I just am the best, I'm going to be better. I mean, that's the type of mentality these types of guys have, and I absolutely love it. I love it. So, got to be critical with a fine-tooth comb. Nothing is good enough, says Talanoa Hufanga. He wants to be more communicative. He wants to improve with making plays for his teammates. Even on plays he has made, he wants to be better on those too. It's hard to not feel like he's going to be a massive boost for this defense. I don't know why I did that. That was not the fifth quote. That was me talking now. But that was 4 quotes there. And the fifth one, my fifth point, I guess, being that this is going to be a massive boost, guys. This is going to be a massive boost, even if only from a leadership perspective. Here's what William Frost from Athlon Sports had to say about Hufanga's return this weekend. The importance of Hufanga's return cannot be overstated as the 49ers confront a challenging season filled with defensive struggles and several players sidelined. Hufanga offers the team both skill and leadership during this trying time. The squad is in desperate need of an energy boost, and if Hufanga can channel his passion along with his previous accolades, he could restore balance to a defense that has faced its share of setbacks. And we're not talking about the 49ers defense being the lowest rated in the league or even middle of the pack. This is still a top level defense, thanks in part, but very much because of the efforts of Fred Warner, making up for areas of weakness so far this season. But now, Hufanga coming back, if he, and I agree with William Frost, we need to also, like, I'm not sure Frost is saying this, but we need to give him, like, a little bit of, like, grace to come back in and find his form. But if he comes back and he looks like the Hufanga we all know and love, perhaps, as he put it, an even better version of himself, there is no doubt in my mind that's going to make a massive improvement on this already very, very good defense. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about all of that, of course, but also specifically about how this game is going to play out. How do you see this all playing out? Do you see the Los Angeles Rams putting up a good fight in their dire state against a 49ers team who offensively is also in a pretty dire state, but still has their QB1 and their tech WR1 in terms of the checkbook, okay? You know, those two guys are still on the field. You still got Juwan Jennings. You still have your same offensive line who didn't look great on Sunday, but is an improvement from last year. That's for sure, an improvement from last year. You still have your Jordan Mason, although, albeit probably without George Kittle in the run blocking, which could be an issue for sure. But then you got Eric Saubert out there, and Jake Tonjes is coming to prove himself. We heard also today that, I'm blanking on his name. 3rd round draft pick, 4th round draft pick. Oh, that's going to kill me later. I'm going to think about it later. I'm going to remember it. Jacob Cowing. I got it. Okay. Anyway, Jacob Cowing is going to go out there. He's going to be baller. So, There's a lot to look forward to here. There's a lot to be down on for sure. But if Charvarius Ward plays, if Nick Bosa plays, they're both kind of looking like 50-50 probably right now. If both of them play, then your defense is pretty much as close to back as what we might dream for apart from Dre Greenlaw. That's a good move. And then offensively, you've got all sorts of guys down. And this is an opportunity to see what Brandon Aiyuk can do. We know what he can do, really what he can do when he's double teamed, what he can't do when he's the number one and he's the only one. And we're also going to see how Brock Purdy can do without all of his weapons. And if it's a little ugly, I'm okay with that as long as we get a W. What a time to be alive, faithful.